Welcome to Chamber Chats, a weekly series by the West Monroe, West Ouachita Chamber of Commerce, highlighting our valued members. As always, find out more about the Chamber and our members online at westmonroechamber.org. And now, this week's episode of Chamber Chats.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Chamber Chats. I'm Chris Kelly with the West Monroe, West Ouachita Chamber, joined with my great friend Chris with the Center for Children and Families.
Yeah, good morning, Chris.
Thanks for having us. Okay, three things. We have to go back in time for just a minute. Y'all just won an award from us as Nonprofit of the Year.
Yes.
Tell us that experience in your personal.
Oh my gosh, we were so excited to be at the awards and then to be awarded the Nonprofit of the Year. It was such an honor for us. We have been here for 25 years doing this work, and so I think to feel recognized and seen that the work we do matters, we know that, but to be awarded this from the Chamber and from our business community, local community, really does mean a lot. We've gotten so many of our judges, our collaterals, our partners texting saying, hey, congratulations. So that just makes us feel over the moon excited.
Sure.
Yeah.
So tell, many people might not know, you just mentioned 25 years of service to the community. What does that mean programmatically? What does the Center for Children and Families do?
Yeah, primarily at the very at core of what we do is we show up and offer hope to the kids and families who need it the most. So we started here in Monroe in the northeast region of Louisiana, have now branched out into Shreveport, Lafayette, and over to greater Jackson, Mississippi area. Wow. We worked with almost 5,000 kids and families last year alone. And those primarily are kids who are going through abuse, neglect, trauma, human trafficking, poverty. So we're really showing up in the darkest times of people's lives, and we're trying to provide hope through counseling and advocacy, education and prevention services.
I think that word you just said is hope.
Right.
It just seems to resonate through your whole organization.
It is.
In fact, your center in West Monroe is called
the Hope Center. That's right. That's right. Yes, sir.
So how do you internally, with all these programs and what is very heavy work, how do you internally foster a culture that facilitates employees dealing with that and not having burnout and things like that?
Such a great question, Chris. Our late CEO, Cindy Murray, really started this place and really saw that from the beginning. And our current CEO, Dr. Matthew Thornton, does the same of really believing that we want our workplace to be life-giving. We understand that we put a lot of hours in. We work with very heavy things. And so we are very intentional with how we care for one another, high level of respect and integrity. And then also we try to do a really great work-life balance, provide the best perks we can for our teams, and really know that when they do come back into our buildings, we want this to be a sanctuary. So we do a lot of in-home, a lot of community-based work. And so we want, when they come back in, they want to work with people who are encouraging, who see them for more than just their role, and who care about them as a person.
Yeah. On that level, we stand on the precipice of April.
Yes.
April is a very special month.
It is.
Tell us what that means for the center.
Yeah, so April is National Child Abuse Prevention Month. So this is a nationally recognized month of observation of the reality, first of all, that child abuse does exist. So we're going to help define what those terms mean, and then ways to prevent it, and then also ways to report it. So we're going to be rallying the community across North Louisiana into Mississippi to really be aware that this does unfortunately happen in our backyard. There are hundreds of reports each year here in Monroe, West Monroe, and so we want to bring awareness and then bring education and empower our communities to be able to stand up for those kids and also know how to educate themselves to be aware of what to look for and what to do if you do suspect that there is abuse.
Those two things right there, what to look for and what to do, what actions to take as an individual, as someone in a school system, as somebody in a business. We had a long conversation with you guys about sex trafficking and a bunch of other issues that are parallel to that abuse. So the average person in our community, how can they get involved or plug into this information from the center?
Such a great question, Chris. I think three main ways, as we've saying all month long, so in April, so hopefully it gets across. But so first really is that idea of learning. So we offer so many trainings in the community. We can come to your church, your business, your school, your organization, and provide training on hey, what is abuse and how do you report it? How do you understand what human trafficking is? So learning is a big component that we offer for that. So second is volunteer. So we actually have, when we started 25 years ago, we started as a CASA program, a court-appointed special advocacy program. We're working with about 200 kids here in the parish in the Northeast region that have been abused and neglected, have been removed from their home, and are now in the court system awaiting what their final destiny is going to be. They've not done anything wrong, but they've been protected by the courts, and they're now, a judge is going to make a determination. So that program recruits community members to serve as an advocate for those kids, to follow them through all the changes in foster homes, through all the changes in schools, and to be their voice in the court system. And right now we have 100 kids waiting for a child advocate. They're in the system, but they don't have that voice, that advocacy. And so we're hoping to rally people to volunteer to do that work. And then third is to donate time, but also to donate money to the essential services that we do here. We are a nonprofit, so all donations that receive are tax deductible, and they go right into the mission of the work we do every day.
So you mentioned CASA, so there's a great need. There's a training involved. How do I approach that as a member of the public?
Great question. So there's a training, so you can obviously understand that working with kids who've been abused, we're highly we're protective of that, and so there's an application. There's an interview process that we work you through, and then yes, our paid staff here, we do a really quick training for you that, actually not quick, but it's pretty exhaustive, but a training that helps you understand what to do, what you can't do, and then we actually pair you up with a paid staff member throughout your whole time. So you're not doing this by yourself.
You have a person that's a support, that's a direct contact.
Totally. Yeah.
And I think it's important because you're about to be their continuity, this young person's continuity through this turmoil that they're going through. You may be their only steady face.
Right.
So it's an important thing.
It is, and I think it's so beautiful the way the program works, because I worked specifically with that program for a decade, and so it's like my heart and soul. But because we got caring people involved in those kids' lives, it is emotional. That's probably the biggest objection that I get when I talk about it with
Emotional
people. Like,
space,
hey, Chris, do you want to be a CASA? It's like, I don't know that I could do it.
Right.
And I'm like, I get it. And so I think that's the thing that says actually you could, because you do care, because you're moved by the circumstances of these kids.
Right.
And so our staff really helps you to process that, navigate it, and then harness that for the ability to stand up and say, we have to have this different for this kid. So
tell about, many people may not understand the center. So there's Department of Children and Families.
Sure.
There's the center's work, and then some other organizations out in the community doing some complementary work. Can you kind of explain this relationship?
That's also a very good question, because a lot of times people say, are we a state agency?
Right.
We're not. So I would say we are a helping agency that comes alongside our state government entities. So again, shout out to our friends at the Department of Children and Family Services, especially throughout the month of April. They are the ones who actually investigate abuse. They're the ones who actually go out and remove children when that is unnecessarily, when that has to happen. And so we're the agency that comes alongside of DCFS and the Office of Juvenile Justice, our court systems, and we provide those services that help the families back on the road to healing. And so we provide those counseling, advocacy, education, and prevention services. Yeah.
And the geography again is weird.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, so here at our headquarters in Monroe, we service all 11 parishes in the Northeast region. And then we also have offices in Shreveport, down in Crawley, Louisiana, and then over into Clinton, Mississippi.
So huge footprint.
It is. Yes, sir. 2 states. Like I said, about 5,000 families we served last year alone. Yes, sir.
Right. So if you're a business, get involved in a financial or time-giving capacity.
Yeah.
If you're an individual, you can get involved as an advocate or just donate your time or financial capacity.
Yeah.
What is the message in this month of April? How do we carry that forward? Learning, opportunity. What else would we our take homes?
Yeah, I think the big take homes are, first of all, if this airs in time, April 3rd is Stand for Hope Together, a big event here at our headquarters, 622 Riverside Drive, where we're inviting the community, our business partners, our churches, schools, local folks who are here to really come and stand with us. We got representation from the city of West Monroe and the city of Monroe. We've got local legislators coming in, really as a community to come in this room and say, we understand this is a problem for child abuse, and what can we do together? Because most people, Chris, and I think that you've seen this too, when you talk about these hard issues, it feels like it's too big. I can't do anything about it.
It's Titanic level size.
And so there's kind of that shrinking back of like, man, I know I hate to say I can't do anything, but I don't know what to do. So our event on that April 3rd is really about saying, here's what we can do. And then from there, really spreading the message all month long through our social media. We've actually got a yard sign campaign going out where we've got over 80 businesses going to display yard signs that has a QR code that has a landing page on our website for resources so that people can know how to recognize abuse and report it. So we're trying to equip and empower the community in a thing that we deal with every day that we feel competent to lead in.
Cool. Yeah. How do people find more information on your website? That kind of stuff.
Yeah, visit us at standforhope.org. That's standforhope.org. You also can follow us on our socials on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
for being part of the Chamber.
Congratulations
on your award once again.
Yeah.
And we look forward to partnering with you at any opportunity. Tune in next time to another episode of Chamber Chats where we highlight other members of the Chamber.